Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be reacting to Donald Trump back in 1988 on the Oprah Winfrey Show to see, what his stance were on America's progress, see if he has changed his, stance on it. And then we're going to fast forward to the year, 4 years ago, where Oprah appeared on Jimmy Kimmel and had discussed her running for president and how she feels about Trump. Let's see if she has changed her stance. Okay, I've already made a video of Trump on another video back in 1980, and that man did not change his stance. He was always been about putting Americans first. He did not say a class of Americans first. He was all about Americans being first. And so we all know once Oprah a couple of years ago had interviews with Meghan Markle. I don't know what other and Michelle Obama. Yeah, that's right. How they feel so scared here now being in America because of Trump and all this other stuff and race baiting and crap like that. Like now it seems like she hates America, but yeah, it was America who put her up on the stage and made her one of the richest black women ever. And I hate people like Meghan Markle and like Oprah. I used to be a big fan of Oprah and Meghan Markle. And Meghan Markle used to be on Star Trek. She was an extra in not Star Trek, but in Stargate. And I was mad now to know that she's in it. Nope. I don't like that. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into watching the first episode with Trump being interviewed on Oprah.
Page ad in major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet
I will. Okay, so when I was in the army and as a contractor, though, I decided to go back over to the Middle East as a contractor to Afghanistan, and I stepped in Kuwait. Now, it's very different when you go over to Kuwait as a contractor and civilian contractor versus military. You go to very different parts of the airports or wherever they take you at. Let me tell you, when I was in Kuwait, they did have military, their armed forces around their airports, but the damn floors, marble. The bathrooms, marble. The people there weren't living like how we see America depict a lot of the Middle East. They have really nice roads, very nice roads, very nice interstates. Not saying that this is all over Kuwait, but a lot of Kuwait looks better than our cities. Our cities look like freaking third world fucking countries. When then we go over to Kuwait, it's like I'm telling you, do not believe the propaganda that so many of these fucking television news shows give you. I recommend every American. I've been to 5 continents. You need to travel outside of America. And for a country that makes so much money, it infuriates you the way how our people live. And it should. But let me go back. But what he's saying is not right. What he's saying is not wrong. It's not wrong at all. And that was back in 1988. The last time I was in Kuwait was back in 2015 as a contractor. I was very, very surprised.
hey, we make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not, but I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
Yeah, it doesn't. But, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
What do you think of this year's presidential race, the way it's shaping up?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. I think that probably George Bush has an advantage in terms of the election. I think that probably people would say that he's got like that little edge in terms of the incumbency, et cetera, et cetera. But I think Jesse Jackson's done himself very proud. I think Michael Dukakis has done one hell of a job. And George Bush has done a hell of a job. They all went in there sort of as semi-underdogs, including George Bush, and they've all come out. I think people that are around all three of those candidates can be very proud of the jobs they've done.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined. I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people, I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. And I can't
See, that's the thing too. Like the way, like even looking at his posture and the way that he speaks, this man is a businessman. He knows he's going to ruffle a few feathers to get the best deal passed for the American people. And this is a problem with so many soft ass fucking Americans. They want to play the political correctness, and by them playing the political correctness way of with our economy, is actually decimating our economy. It's making us poorer. But when you have soft motherfuckers in our country who don't understand that some people, they need to be dealt with in a not in such a, I guess with soft kitty hands. Like, there's some individuals out there who are not going to give a damn about your fucking gender. They're not going to care about your fucking pronouns. They will put a gun to your head and say, give me your fucking money. This is what you need a man like Trump is saying, nah, back, or I'll fucking drop a bomb on your ass. That's what you need a man like this to fucking, go and hit him hard where it needs to be, have diplomacy. But at the end of the day, money talks. These countries, what speaks to them is money, resources, not fucking social problems, social issues. That never ever helps a society build up. That never does. Money does. Opportunity does. Capitalism does. But, when you have so many individuals in our society, when we have lost the ability to know what it's like to hurt, we've lost the ability to even know how to farm, for crying out loud. I mean, I was in a Twitter the other day, like a couple of months ago. People literally thought, when I was like, oh my God, there might be a food shortage. People were like, what are you talking about? Just go to the grocery store and get your food. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? How do you think the food got there? Do you think the food just, when they harvested it just magically it was clean and wrapped up in plastic, and then it just went from the ground straight to our shelves straight to the shelves in the grocery store? No, there's a chain of events that happen, but we have forgotten that. We have become so comfortable that the very small things that we have in life we take for granted. There are places, and I've seen, being over in Afghanistan, there are places where there are no roads. People do not even have the luxury of owning a motorcycle, a bicycle, a car. They ride either on camel or horseback if they're lucky. They live in shacks and fucking sheds. You think their fucking government gives a damn about them? No. A lot of their government officials over there are living like kings. Well, I mean, it's pretty much ran by the Taliban now, or some of these areas are. They're the ones who are living like kings, while the rest of the people are living like living in squalor. But Americans, we're so fucking privileged over here. We don't even take the time out of our day to even think about these small things. It's so, I guess you can call it egocentric, where you're just so your culture is so, you're so absorbed in your own culture and your own countries that you don't give a damn about other countries. You don't even know. You think that everyone around the world lives like you do, when that's not true. It's not true. But I digress. Let me get back to Donald Trump. Like I said, this is the type of figure that you need to run a country, to deal with these people and say, no, we will not be fucking bullied. You will. If you want us to continue helping you, if you want us to continue sending over our troops in order to protect your citizens, then you need to pay us what we are worth. Okay? Only bitches bow down, and Biden is a fucking bitch.
Promise you everything. But I can tell you one thing, this country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage. It wouldn't be the way it's been, believe me.
Okay, so, all right, now let's see if she changed her stance. So now this is on Kimmel. This is on Jimmy Kimmel.
New house. Seen what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowners insurance with Geico's help was pretty fun, too.
Well, enjoy your house.
Nope.
Geico.
Okay. Let's see. Look at all these people clapping for her. Let me go back and rewind that. Do you see all these white people in this audience clapping for Oprah? You see all these white people in the audience clapping for Oprah, but yeah, she would make that stupid ass video with Meghan Markle saying how there's so much racism in the world. All these people pay for you to be one of the richest Black American females in America. I think that's fucking crazy for you to sit here and talk shit about them.
The audience for our show last night was not nearly as excited as they are tonight.
I don't believe it. I watch you. I see it every night.
How are you? How's everything?
Everything's good.
So you're definitely not running for president? That's out?
Definitely. Where do I look in the
Wherever. They're all over.
Definitely not running.
Thank God.
You know, you give a speech and then you sit down and you have surprisingly started to run for president.
That's when you know you made a good speech, when all of a sudden people translated into the presidency.
I thought that was...
You never imagined that would be people's reaction, did you?
I couldn't even... I was just... You know that breath you take when you've done a thing and you have sort of stepped out of your box? And
yeah.
I just was like relieved. So Reese and I were walking off and I went, oh, that's done. And I thought it was over. I was just like happy. Oh, now I'm going to have some tequila.
And then people started saying...
And then just backstage,
online,
people started saying
really?
stuff.
Even in person backstage?
Yeah, backstage. They said, you know, you're trending. And I went, about the speech? Really? So that was a surprise. And I was kind of first thrown by it. And it's a humbling thing to have people think that you can run the country.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's a humbling thing. And so I'm the kind of person who tries to listen to signs. I think, well, am I supposed to run the country? I don't think so. I hadn't heard any.
No.
So,
I feel like you already ran the country for about 15 years.
So, anyway.
I feel like Stedman made this into a much bigger situation because he was interviewed and he said, Oprah will do whatever the people want.
Yes, and he says, and I said, why are you even talking, Stedman? Stedman, why are you talking? So this is Stedman saying that. Stedman's like, I'll never go to another Golden Globes. I'll never go to another Golden Globes. I just was trying to support you at the Golden Globes. Next thing I know, you're running for president. But he says he heard the reporter say, would she make a good president?
I see.
That's what he says. And of course, he would never say I should run.
So he will not be your press secretary if you
At
are.
all.
No, he's not going to be your.
Not for state representative.
Sarah Sanders.
No.
And then I don't want to dwell on the presidency, but must be even for you, who you live a charmed and very unusual life, to find out that the president, after you appeared on 60 Minutes, has tweeted about you. And let's go through this tweet, if we may. This is. Just watched a very insecure Oprah Winfrey, which is, have you been insecure like any time in the last 35 years?
I'm trying to think about, have I ever?
Probably not.
I'm trying to think when that would be.
Well, he said, at one point I knew very well, interview a panel of people on 60 Minutes. The questions were biased and slanted, the facts incorrect. Hope Oprah runs so she can be exposed and defeated just like all of the others. How did you learn that this had happened?
Ava DuVernay,
The director of your
visionary director of
Yes.
Wrinkle Time, had texted me in the morning and said, "Call me. Are you up? Call me."
Oh, so it was the whole, because this happened, I think, like,
In the middle of the
In the
night
middle
or
of the
something,
night,
midnight
yeah.
or something. I said, I go to bed early.
Okay.
So she said, "Call me when you get up," and I called, and she goes, "Are you aware?" I go, "What? What's going on?" And she said, "Check your feed," and I went, "Oh no."
did you ever think of tweeting something?
Not a second.
In response, no.
Not a second.
And let's be honest, we know the reason why. Because in that video that I just played before, did she seem like someone who would be a race baiter? Did she seem like someone who would use incorrect facts to justify, BLM and all this other stuff? No. This woman seemed like she wanted to hear what this president had to say and was open-minded to it, and even had said herself that you sound like someone who should be running for president. But now all of a sudden, she jumps on the whole bandwagon over false facts to try to justify BLM and the burning down freaking cities, burning down government buildings. Like these people. You have had a very privileged life here in America. And instead of you using your influence to teach blacks that you are not the sum of your skin tone, that you do indeed have a future if you are persistent, if you go down that direction, down that path, and you don't just weather from it. If you don't turn from it, you will be successful. It's called consistency and just putting yourself out there. You just never know what will happen. People will see you, people will believe in you, and they will support you. But no, she wants to take the side of, oh my God, all black people have been in so injustice and all this other stuff. I'm scared to be black around white people. I'm scared to be black around white cops, even though the facts do not support it. Okay? Cops are less likely to even shoot you if you're black because of the implications that this could possibly be motivated race crime or hate crime. Okay, they are more scared to shoot you and would rather you just comply because they don't want the blowback of the optics of it all. But this woman, instead of going against narrative, and I'm pretty sure for her to be this successful, come on, woman, come on. There had to be people on your side, but let's go ahead and make a blanket statement and say that white people are the problem, right? Yep. Just so you can sit with Obama, just so you can Miss Obama, just so you can sit with Meghan Markle. Should be ashamed of yourself. And it's funny how I haven't heard anything from her in a while. It's funny how all of those individuals who talk shit like this, we haven't heard from them in a while. They're pretty fucking silent. But that means they will have to admit some things. Admit some things that they know were not true. But I can no longer listen to her. I can no longer listen to her. And it's sad that the individuals who I used to look up to and thought were individuals that did have representation. Honestly, to me, they did give me some form of representation. Maybe not in the field of media, but in the field of just being out here in America. If she could make it on TV, and with her being a black woman, I can make it in America just being whatever the hell I want. But, call me crazy for thinking like that. But anyways, bye guys.